I'll say it again. This is an issue that has nothing to do with the players and everything to do with front office people. So the media should be focusing all their attention on front office people instead of sticking mics in front of players' hands. Because I don't see this much of an uproar when like Tamir Rice and other black kids are being killed and everybody had on "I Can't Breathe" shirts with Eric Garner's face on it and all the other stuff. There was like a media blackout in some aspects of that. But the whole NBA media wants to talk about China and this. Like, bro, I don't want to hear from a player about what they think about this China situation. I want to hear from a GM, a front office person. Let's actually stick cameras and chase them down and stick a mic in front of their face because they're the ones who need to answer for this, not the players. That's what I'm saying.
Why do you think they need to answer to it and not the players? Because
the GM said it. A player didn't say it. A GM said it. Like I said, but the players might have distribution deals with China. That'll mess up their bag.
The reason why the question is being posed to the players is, one, as I just alluded to, the NBA, and now I'm reading even ESPN has essentially
been blackballed by China?
No, the ESPN has essentially put a gag order on their talk shows even talking about it.
And it's a diplomatic issue.
Exactly. But besides that, the reason why the NBA players are being asked about it is, one, a point of access.
They're
because
in China.
Nobody's talking about it. And yes, they're in China. But two, the reason why they're asking the players about it is because of the whole false premise that the NBA is a players' league, a league driven by players, a league run by players, a league all about player empowerment. And so these reporters are now saying, okay, you guys have been given this platform to speak out about things when you want to think about them. So do you have an opinion on this? What do you think about this? You guys are saying you have this system, but now it's being challenged and none of you guys are saying anything. And how can you still say that you have that platform, that you've built this, when you're still not?
I totally understand that line of questioning, and it makes perfect sense. But it's like, I'll give you an example. Someone comes to a restaurant and they want to know why something isn't on the menu. You can talk to the person who's ringing you up all day, but they're going to say, well, it's the manager's decision. Like if you're in a deli, why did you guys have roast beef anymore? Deli manager's discretion. He decided not to do it. Or she decided not to do it. So you can keep talking to me all day, but I just told you who you can go talk to. So go talk to them, because that is above my pay grade. This China issue is above every NBA player's pay grade. LeBron, all of them. There's nothing they can say there's nothing no NBA player can say that will smooth over China saying, oh really? Kiss our ass. We're gonna blackball you off our internet and off our media. There's nothing. What answer can an NBA player give you that I'd be like, oh wow, that was breaking and insightful? Nothing, because a GM of a team that don't win shit, in case you didn't hear that, a GM said that. So a GM and a front office person, like all the front office people, they should be getting their phones blown up and their emails blown up with questions from journalists. That should be the plan of attack.
They are.
Like, yeah, and I'd be like, I would also say,
but what I'm saying,
why don't you want the players to speak out on this?
But what I'm saying is,
I would bring it back that way.
We know why they don't want the players to speak out.
Yeah,
on it. Like you said, it's going to hurt their back. But
I'm not going to make the players at fault for that. Like, how come you don't have any power in a league that you don't own? You just play in.
But what I'm saying is, back it up to, I don't even remember what the fuck I was
know what you're saying. You're like, if it's a pro player league, how come you can't speak freely? Go ask my boss. But
besides that, you're. Oh, that's what I was going to get to. So yeah, that point is fine, which is essentially what they're doing. But the issue is, you can't just say, okay, I'm not just a basketball player. I'm not just a part of this 12-man team. I'm not just part of the NBA when it's convenient, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, no, I'm just a player here. Somebody else writes my checks and
that's
talks to them.
That's how it works. Well,
but that's where the issue.
And that's what I'm saying. When it came to NBA players wearing, I Can't Breathe shirts, a bunch of people in the media, they were like asking questions like, well, why are you wearing this? Tamir Rice was 12 and was murdered in a park. That's why I'm wearing it. What's your follow-up question? Oh, you don't have one? You going to get quiet? You going to be like, you want to shift the issue from black people being killed to gun control? And that's what I'm saying. Like, when we could really have a real conversation, the media kind of said, okay, let's backdoor out of this and talk about something else.
I don't really agree with that because LeBron actually said a lot of shit during that time.
Yeah, he did, but I'm talking about the media, not the players. See, the media, and you know this because you've worked around people in the media, there's certain journalists who don't ask certain questions because, A, they don't really give a shit about the people they're covering. We've both seen that. So that's what I'm saying. It's up to the discretion of the person asking the question to apply pressure where they see it. And if that pressure isn't consistent, then don't get mad because nobody want to talk about China because it's above their pay grade and has nothing to do with them. Like, literally nothing to do with NBA players. They can all say, you know, we're just not going to play the rest of the preseason. I'm going to stay at home. Well, you still need to go out there and talk to all these board members and all these suits in these organizations. Go, do full-fledged stories and think pieces on them. Stop, looking for the players to bail you out every time for content. Sometimes you need to just go at the necks and the heads of owners and GMs. That's what I'm saying. You're not going to find all your answers through the players. It's just not how it works because it's not a transparent league. So don't even get mad at what your point is why is it all of a sudden nobody want to say anything when it's China or when it's something this big? Well, because they know deep down it's a business and they can't. If anything, if I was the Players Association, I would be using this to my full-fledged advantage to get leverage on the owners. I'd be like, you don't let these players speak up. You want to put an embargo on them talking about this? Well, then you got to give up more of the bag. You got to give up some more equity if you're going to want us to just be quiet when your money's affected. Because a GM of a team that ain't never won a title decided to fuck up everybody's money and open his mouth. Whether he's right or wrong. Because people in Tibet. Tibetan monks are pissed about
the Rockets are one of
how many championships have they won?
One of 8 franchises to win. One of the last 8 franchises to win the championship.
When was the last time they won something? And don't say when Jordan retired. That shit don't count.
It does.
Have they won anything in the past 10 years?
That's not the point. The point is...
No, but my point is as a GM, has not brought them a title.
But you realize,
he's just always talking shit.
You realize there's
I only hear from Daryl Morey in the media, and he's always running his mouth. That's my point.
You realize there's
I really just don't like
there's
the
only
Rockets.
6 teams that have won championship.
I know that. But every time we see some controversy in the NBA, it's Daryl Morey's ass running his mouth. Now you want to be quiet? No, let's hear from you, Daryl Morey. I don't want to hear from the players. Let's hear from front office people. Since y'all want to open your mouth now.
He did open his mouth.
And he keeps opening the whole thing. Yeah, but now he's quiet. That's what I'm saying.
He's not quiet.
Bro, he's quiet.
He's not really.
He maybe came out with one statement trying to clean up what he said, but they got him on damage control. So he ain't saying shit.
He almost lost his job over it.
That's what I'm saying.
He still might lose his job over it.
That's what I'm saying. He's opened his mouth so much that now it's like, oh, you finally said something that fucked up the church's money. And now we got to deal with you. Now we're not talking about, who looks good in the preseason. We're not talking about Zion Williams. We're not talking about Westbrook and Harden and the Nets. And by the way, a Knicks fan threatened KD on Twitter. It was kind of funny. It was a funny exchange. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about China and their tyranny and what they did with Tibet when we could just look at America and be like, are you serious? Are you serious? You want to talk about dictatorships? America. Is that what you want to do? So that's what I'm saying. This is not an issue that the players should even be commenting on. The players union should be telling all of them, be quiet and look at investing in something in China and doing business with China on the low. That's what I would do. I'd be like,
I think get
your investment game up right now.
I think the issue that you're kind of glazing over is the fact that things with China are like the worst they've been in a long time.
And Kobe still had one of the highest selling jerseys in China.
But I'm saying
they
within
still
the
have
past
basketball
year,
camps in China.
Within the past year,
I agree.
Like things have completely turned upside down. So
yeah, it's horrible. They
so
own our
in the
debt.
past, athletes have been a vehicle of
good faith
of political change when they want it.
They're an olive branch
when they want it. So I think somebody, and you could say the media maybe was expecting this to be that olive branch, but it just hasn't been, and everyone is just.
I think people realizing the NBA is just the nicer version of the NFL,
which it always has been.
Just the nicer version. At least we're not them. But you don't want to talk about when you were demonizing Allen Iverson for having tattoo braids and showing up to the stadium not in a 3-piece suit. I mean, I think the dress code was one of the dopest things that happened, and now it's turned into a nightmare because cats is wearing bicycle shorts and all types of weird shit. A la Russell Westbrook. Like, sometimes fashion can just go too far down the spectrum to where you look ridiculous, but whatever. But my point is, this is not a player issue. It is a GM front office issue. So go ask Magic Johnson what he thinks. I want to know what Magic Johnson thinks at a time like this. And then when he's done, go ask Ja Rule too. We good?
So on that note, the next issue you wanted to talk about was Baker and Bosa.
Baker, Sherman, Bosa gate?
Pretty much. So go ahead and give the synopsis on that.
So pretty much before the game, or actually after the game, Richard Sherman's like, he's disrespectful, he's cocky. He didn't shake my hand when there's clear video of Baker Mayfield shaking Richard Sherman's hand. I think that was just gamesmanship and Sherman being a dick like he used to be with Crabtree. Which, by the way, where is Michael Crabtree?
Free agent.
I know, I was being facetious. But anyway, Bosa also remembered when Oklahoma spanked his Ohio State team when they were both in college, and he planted a fag in Buckeye Stadium. So Nick Bosa, open Trump supporter, him and his whole family, literally came out there. He had a really great game, and kept doing the flag, like kept doing mocking like the whole flag waving for what Baker Mayfield did when he was at Oklahoma. And just kept saying in this press conference, he's like, Baker. I'd have been doing the same shit. That's funny.
Bro, the memes this week about Baker Mayfield were fucking hilarious.
The pettiness. Oh, the Twitter thread.
Oh, JP my fucking God.
JP Losman with a, oh my goodness, I forget it. But there was, that Twitter thread was rich. So, oh my goodness.
I gotta find this shit. Hold on.
Yeah, because
let's finish. Tell them the whole story.
Like, it was, oh my God. Baker Mayfield got destroyed on Twitter. Then he tried to.
All right.
JP Losman with the what?
They said JP Losman with the Gunner playlist.
There we go.
Somebody said Ryan Leaf with Black Friends.
There we go.
Ryan Leaf with a Hulu account.
Oh.
Blake Bortles who dabs.
Yes. Somebody else was like Amigos.
Chad Henne Millie rocking with the first overall pick.
Exactly. Like literally. That's Baker Mayfield. That's Baker Mayfield right
Melanin. Melanin deficient EJ Manuel.
Wow. Villalago EJ Manuel? No, he'd still be black. It'd be melanin deficient. Damn. Mayonnaise EJ Manuel? That's rough.
Kyle Bowler studied battle rap for a living.
That's foul.
Joey Harrington with the Jordan 11s.
Damn, Joey Harrington with a rap battle mixtape.
Matt Barkley who can Dougie.
That's fucked up. That's the perfect one. Because remember when he was at Oklahoma and he did the dance circle.
Colt McCoy who likes wearing socks with flip flops.
Oh my goodness.
Nathan Peterman with a couple of Supreme beanies.
Wow. Philip Rivers with a fresh taper.
Chad Pennington, who went to a few Zumba classes and thought he could rebrand himself.